I'm ready to give up. What about you? I'm Brian with Bulldog Delivers. Let's hit it. It's been a crazy week, and one particular day just brought me to my wits' end. I want to tell you about it. But hey, I'm here, and I'm happy. Why? Well, because I had a great day the next day. Such is the life of gig work. You know, things go up and down. It's a big seesaw, and you never know. Every day is different, which is great, which is appealing of this job. But I'm seeing a trend, and it's starting to affect me up here as to whether what I'm doing is going to be worth it anymore. A lot of that has to do with high gas prices that are taking away my profit margins, and also just the fact that I've had to expand my no-tipper list on Shipt because even some regular customers are screwing me good. And I've also been very busy and overwhelmed with a lot of things this month, as I've told you before. A lot of things going on the home front, family first. In fact, yeah, I'm wearing a collared shirt. This is unusual, right? So I had my younger daughter's middle school graduation today, which was just phenomenal. So yay her for graduating. And I've got my other daughter's high school graduation this week. So yeah, we've had a lot going on the home front. So I got an email from a regular viewer, and I was responding to it, and it gave me the topic idea, and that was, what is going on here right now in the gig economy? And for those of you who have been asking me for my email lately, I'm sorry I haven't been able to respond to you. And also, yeah, I'm a little reluctant on putting that out in the big, wide public domain just because, I don't have time for it. I'm sorry, I really don't. But some of you used to be able to find it on your YouTube profile, but a couple of people have said they can't find it there. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'll try because I do like to hear from you. I just may not be able to respond to all of you, so please understand that. But Joyce had reached out to me and told me that she had gotten dinged with another 4-star rating, and she's had a string of these lately, and it's really pushed her ratings numbers down, and she's a little worried about it because of how it's going to affect her Instacart batches. I took another 4-star hit myself on Thursday, so that took me down to a 4.90. So, yeah, I'm still spiraling downward because Instacart's rating system is just totally inexplicable. And I'll tell you what, I really think this. I don't have the hardcore evidence to back this up. This is only a speculation. But the last time I got a slew of bad ratings was when I rated an Instacart agent a 1-star. A support agent lied to me, so I gave her a 1-star because she was absolutely no help, and she lied, and I caught her in the lie, and so I rated appropriately. Well, then that's when a bunch of 3s and 4s showed up mysteriously. And the last time that had happened was another time I had to rate an agent a 1-star. So these folks are probably lying to you when they say they can't fix your unfair ratings. No, but it sure seems like they might be able to put those unfair ratings on you. So I don't know. Again, I don't have the evidence to back it up, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do. But there's certainly enough circumstantial evidence out there that I've seen with other YouTubers who have shown that payment cards have been deactivated because they gave an agent a 1-star rating, and therefore the agent retaliated by deactivating their Instacart payment card. And that's also one reason why I say keep a backup card on hand at all times, so in case that ever does happen to you, you can react quickly and not miss a beat. I keep one handy because those cards get damaged very easily. And one time I was trying to check out a Walgreens order and the payment card wasn't working. And I just said, oh, hold on a minute. Let me go fix this. 5 minutes later, I was back in the store paying for the order and then going to make my delivery and made my batch pay and that tip that went along with it. But that's not what I came here to talk to you about today. I wanted to talk to you about, well, my feelings on Friday and how it all went to real fast. Fridays here in Pensacola, Florida are very good to me. I typically make anywhere from $180 to $220 every Friday. Those are fairly long days. I'll start around 11 o'clock in the morning and continue on till about 9 o'clock at night, and will often involve a lot of driving. But that's because I'm multi-apping. Instacart, Shipt, Uber Eats, Grubhub, even a little bit of Waiter if the money is right on that trashy app. And yes, it is a trashy app. This past Friday, I decided to get started a little earlier than I normally do, expecting to go late because on Saturday I was also going to be traveling to a different zone where I expected the summer tourism season to do quite well. So it was a little slow to start. Just wasn't seeing anything out there, which was unusual for a Friday morning. So I put myself on the Shipt schedule, something I rarely do, but I decided I needed to do it just because it was looking pretty bleak. So they send me a number of offers. I've got a 5-star rating on Shipt, by the way, so presumably I would see the better offers, right? So I got this one. It was a $25 payout for an order that had 57 items in it. Okay, with Shipt, that's not bad. I'm trying to calculate what would be the potential tip in that. It was for a store that was 20 minutes away with the delivery going out to Perdido Key, which is another 20-minute drive to where they were at on Perdido Key, which was at the other end right on the Alabama state line. And it was a high-rise condo building, and they were somewhere on the 10th floor, I believe. So, anyway, it's like, okay, this is a potential payout of I could probably make a $20 tip or more. So the total payout could be about $45, $50 maybe, right? That's worth it to me because from the time that I left the house to the time that I completed the delivery was exactly 2 hours. And I was going to stay down there and try and pick up other orders in that part of town just because, again, Friday, tourism season, people coming into town. There's a lot of locals that order around there too, so I should have been able to do okay. So my first order of the day, I got it done, delivered on time, handed the items to the customer, and we had a nice little conversation. He was impressed with my cooler setup. He had a bunch of ice cream items. I said, well, this way this stuff doesn't turn to soup on the long drive from the store to your place. He thanked me for that, and that was pretty much the end of the conversation. And no tip ever showed up that day. I always do well with tourists on Perdido Key and through many of the other tourist towns throughout the Florida Gulf Coast. But this one just kind of struck me odd that after 2 hours I didn't see a tip. What's going on? Maybe later in the day. Nothing happened. This started doing a spiral effect in my head. The snowball effect. Things just start going, this is already a slow day. This is already looking bleak. I don't know. You just have those vibes. You just know when you're about to get screwed. So I hung around town for a little bit, picked up another order. It was a quick order, just a mile up the street from the store. It was, the payout was more than $1 an item. The customer had ordered on Instacart like 660 times. So, hey, how bad can it be? And it was great. I got it done back at the store pretty quick. I was like, boy, if I keep a lot of orders like this, I can go. That never happened. I sat and sat and sat for a long time, and then I just said, that's it. I got to go somewhere else. At that point, I did pick up an order that pulled me away from there. I did that, and then I was going to see what else happened. Then Shipt offered me another order, and it was for 50 items, and it was in a neighborhood that I was familiar with, one that I had done very well when Instacart had its heyday, and I thought, okay, I'll give this one a try too. I'd seen this address come up before on Shipt, but never really paid much attention to it because it is in a different part of town that I don't typically work, but again, not unfamiliar with the area. I knew I was in trouble halfway through the shop when the customer started messaging me about pricing and about making sure this is ringing up at this price and that price, and make sure you type in my discount at Winn-Dixie and this and that. And I knew at that point, once the customer starts talking dollars with you like that in the middle of an order, you're about to get nailed. But I just put my head down and kept going. I finished the order. Then she started thanking me, and just when they start appreciating you like that in words, you know what's next. The day came and went. No tip from her either. I think I ended my day around 7:30 or 8 o'clock on that Friday night. I'm like, that's it. I'm done with this. This is horrible. I've made no money. I drove 155 miles that day, only brought in $130 in revenue, and that was it. It was literally playing with my head really bad. It's like, is this worth it anymore? And the reason why I said that is because I'm spending a lot more money in gas, just like you are, and I've seen the earnings go down and down and down. My weekly earnings, I'm struggling to make my weekly goals. So I'm having to drive a lot more miles with higher gas prices to try to make that same amount of money. Nah, it was really starting to get to me. And I'm sure it's getting to you too, isn't it? I had already planned to work another town on Saturday, far away from here, where I typically do well during the summer and other holiday seasons like spring break and the like. And so I just said, that's it. I'm going to go home, get my rest because the alarm clock rings at 5 a.m. I leave the house at 6:30, and I want to be in position by 8 o'clock so I can get the first orders. And, man, I'll tell you what. I got there, took a few minutes to get going, but then the stuff started pouring in, and I made money hand over fist on Saturday. So I was jazzed on Saturday, Sunday, and even going into today, which is Monday. And by the way, the only reason why I'm not working today on Monday is because we have tropical weather moving through the Florida Panhandle, which has just been a washout for me. I tried to work a little bit on Sunday. I had to give up on that once the lightning started because all these tropical bands were just coming in from a storm offshore. It wasn't a tropical storm. It didn't take a name. It was Invest 90, and it just never fully developed into a named system. But it might as well have because it was just been dumping a lot of rain and very windy night last night. I had a hard time sleeping, so yeah, it's just crazy. But I got through my daughter's middle school graduation today, bone dry. That was great. And then as soon as we got out, the weather started again. So that was good timing. Now, the graduation ceremony was indoors, thank God, because it's Florida, it's hot, we had air conditioning, we were good. So yeah, talk about the seesaw of earnings doing gig work. It's to be expected to some degree when we're doing this kind of work, but boy oh boy, Friday just really kicked my butt badly. In the past 2 weeks, my no-tipper and low-tipper list on Shipt grew a lot. I couldn't believe it. 3 customers that I was their preferred shopper for, I pulled off the list. I put it on my no-tip list, took them off my preferred shopper list, and put them on the no-tip list because I got stiffed 2 times in a row by 2 of those customers. And the third customer that I had to put on my no-tip list, they screwed me good because the last time they waited a week to tip, and then they only tipped $2.33. That was just an insult when they were every bit of good for $5-10 typically, or more. And the previous time that they ordered, they canceled the order while I was traveling to the store. I don't have time or patience for that kind of stuff. The 2 orders that stiffed me on Friday, actually the first customer, the one in the high-rise condo on the beach, this is where I get mad. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars to stay there for a week, but you can't tip your delivery driver at least $20, $25. And even $20 would have been on the low side for that order because that customer spent almost $300 on that Target order. And so I was hoping for a $25 tip at least out of that. No. Guess what I got yesterday afternoon? A $10 tip. Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? That's what, 4% maybe? That was an insult. If there was a way that I could say on the app, no, give the tip back to the customer because you need the money more than I do, I would have. And then seriously, while I was making this video, I just got a notification about the other customer from last Friday. They tipped me today. A $204 order, I think it was. It was over $200, I know for sure. $5. Yep. Tip me $5. I don't know. I just my message to the customers. I know times are tough. I know you're feeling the pinch just like I am. I have extremely high overhead in this gig work in order to be able to serve you. I have to pay a lot of money in gas. I pay a good chunk of change in car insurance every month. And all the risk is on me. All of us delivery drivers are facing similar challenges. And when customers stiff us or just tip out very, very low dollar amounts, we can't do this anymore. So you may appreciate me and other good shoppers like me, and you will even want us to be your regular shopper. But we can't do that if you're going to stiff us, okay? Please be cognizant of what we do and what it takes for us to get the stuff to you. And I need to repeat this again for every shopper and food delivery driver out there. Do not, under any circumstances, I will shout this to the rooftop until the cows come home. Do not, under any circumstances, take a no-tip order. Period. Don't do it. I don't care how much the peak boost pay goes up on that. I don't care how close it may be on your way home. Don't do it. They're nothing but trouble, and all you're doing is feeding that beast. I see it all the time. I see $2 orders, $3 orders, $4 orders. I won't take them, but yet somebody does. And the reason why you keep seeing so many of this trash on Uber Eats, Grubhub, I know even on DoorDash, right? I don't do DoorDash, but I see all the other videos out there. They're everywhere. The marketplace is flooded with these orders. Don't do it. Whoever's doing this, what's the matter with you? Why are you doing this? Are you even making any money doing this? Why would you pay a company to work for them? Because that's what you're doing. By the time you add up all your expenses, your gasoline, your insurance, oh, I know some of you lie about your insurance. I'm just not going to tell the insurance company I'm not doing anything. Watch my videos about what can happen to you if you do lie to your insurance company about your gig work. Because remember, insurance companies hate your guts, okay? A lot of people hate your guts. You're going to find that out pretty darn soon. There's a lot of crap you have to put up with. But so doing it for no-tip orders, don't do it. You have to know what your value is. Put a value on yourself, your family. Why are you doing this kind of work? You're obviously doing it to pay rent. You're obviously doing it to pay your electric bill. You're obviously doing it to make your car payments and whatever else you got to do, right? And then you got to fill your gas tank to do that. All right? And a lot of you are getting screwed with $6 a gallon gasoline, okay? If you're driving diesel, God bless you, all right? But if you're doing gasoline, if you're in California, why are you still there, number one, all right? That's almost as bad of a place as New Jersey, for other reasons, though, but still. Ugh. Okay, I'm done ranting. I hope I got my point across. Because really, when you are taking those no-tip orders, you are hurting all of us, okay? It becomes harder and harder for people like me to do our jobs and do it well. Thank you for this therapy session. No, seriously, I just needed to get on here and rant about it. It's been eating at me for a few days. And even though I had a great day on Saturday, my thoughts just kept coming back to those shitty customers from Friday. And, seeing the stuff yesterday afternoon and even today, just when their tips did come in, they're very low dollar tips, not even 3%, not even 4%. I just, that bothers me. That really does bother me. And it's going to eat at me for a while. And, it's just part of it. It is what it is. And there's maybe not a whole lot you can do about it. But you can take measures, take steps to prevent yourself from ever doing that again, at least for those customers, right? So what do you do? What do you do? You work on multiple platforms is what you do. This way, you have them all open. You can cherry pick your orders. You can get the ones that best fit you with the better dollars, the better mileage. You're not going to take an $11 order to travel 17 miles. Do you understand that? You just don't do it. And your parameters are going to depend on your market. For me, I have a goal. I have a lot of goals, actually. When I'm doing grocery shopping, I aim for $1 an item with relatively low mileage. If I'm doing food deliveries, I go for $2 a mile on that payout. If you're offering me $12 payout, it better be 6 miles or less. If it's slightly over, let's say 7 or 8 miles for $12, I may do it. If it's a slow time of day and there's not a whole lot of other offers coming in, okay, I'll do it. I'm not inflexible on it, but I can't do too many of those. I need those $2 an item orders or $2 a mile orders in order to stay profitable, and that makes up for the time that I may have to wait at the restaurant while they're still making the meal. And that's another topic that I'll be doing soon. How long are you willing to wait? Because let's face it, you're going to have to wait sometimes. And if all you're taking are $6 and $7 orders, then you're not going to make it. You really aren't. So, if this is just a part-time side hustle for you, a little bit at a time, okay, then it may work for you. I don't know. For me, it still wouldn't, even if I was only doing this part-time. I do this gig work full-time. I have an exit strategy. My exit strategy is to get out of the gig work full-time and get into another operation where I can be in it full-time. I've already got my foot in the door there. Now it's just a matter of waiting for that opening to occur, which it is going to occur. There's already been a date set for it. Who knows? It may happen sooner. I don't know. I'm already in position, so when it does, I can hit the ground running and go. So you should have an exit strategy at all times anyway. You'll always, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing a W-2 job, you should always have a plan B, right? Some of you just have bad bosses. And in this economy, you don't have to put up with bad bosses. So many places are hungry for help that they're willing to hire you. So you have options. You have a lot of options. So don't put up with a bad boss. If you're in the gig work, have an option to get out. Have a way. Identify. Build those relationships. Work with other people. Understand. Diversify your income. I love being independent. I love not having to answer to anybody. It's one of the most attractive things about gig work I have going on right now. But I'm also not blind to what's going on with the extremely high gas prices that are still going up. And they're even going up higher than they were the last time we talked about gas prices on this channel. And I'm looking at the potential for our economy to just blow up and go down the toilet like it did back in 2008. It's going to be different circumstances, but hey, it is a very real possibility. So you need to make sure that you can insure yourself against it the best way you possibly can. And that's going to be a decision that you need to make. You know your circumstances, you know your needs. Best thing you can do is have an emergency fund. If you're doing really good with your gig work, just make sure you're putting some money away. Like Sarah the shopper used to say, just have that little nut, right, to help you through those slow times. Because, hey, let's face it, it is likely to happen, and it may be happening within the next year. So just be ready for anything. And gig work is going to be one of the places that you feel it first because it's discretionary spending to a lot of people. And right now, even though the economy has its challenges and it's tightening up in a lot of areas and it has inflation problems and all, people are still spending money like crazy. But that will stop. The question is, when will it stop and where does it hit first? So you just need to be aware of it and just be prepared. I'm Brian. Thank you very much for listening. And I really needed to rant about this stuff. It's been eating at me, and hopefully it sparks your brain cells to do some spinning and not be taken advantage of, and just be ready for the unexpected to the best of your ability, right? Please like this video, and again, welcome to all the new subscribers. I've picked up quite a few more this past week. I love seeing those numbers go up. It is encouraging. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, if you're a regular viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, it really, really helps. So this way, you get notified first, especially when you click that notification bell. Then that way, you get notified as soon as I get a video up there. And look forward to seeing your comments down below. I'm Brian with Bulldog Delivers. Until next time, go get 'em!